there, and welcome to Jacob's Kindness Corner, the fun new show from Morrison High School Multimedia Design Studio, celebrating the kind and selfless actions of MHS students just like you. I'm Jacob, and on today's episode we will be discussing the process of voting for Morrison High School MVP Student of the Month. Every month during the school year, you will receive an email from melissa.landis@morrisonschools.org, linking you to a Google form which you may use to nominate one of your fellow students to receive the title of Morrison High School MVP Student of the Month, otherwise known as the Real MVP Award. Two nominated students are chosen on a predetermined date near the end of each month. When making a nomination, please consider these criteria and nominate a student who selflessly helps others, a student who is kind and caring with their words, actions, social media posts, etc., a student who is respectful of other people and their belongings, a student who is responsible for themselves and their belongings, a student who is honest and a good role model to their peers and younger students. As a former Morrison High School Real MVP Student of the Month, I would like to say that nominating a peer to receive this award for their otherwise unrecognized actions is a real great way to brighten up their day. Your nomination is anonymous, and the recommended student will not know who thought to nominate them for this award unless you choose to reveal that wonderful secret. I myself have no idea who nominated me in December of 2018, and thinking back to the day where I was honored for my kind and good-hearted actions still makes me swell with immense pride. Now we have entered the portion of the show I like to call Is It Kind, where I will provide an entirely hypothetical, non-real scenario, and you will tell me if you believe that the student I describe deserves to be nominated for MHS MVP of the Month. Hypothetical number 1. You and your best friend Steve are walking down the hallway, and you turn to see your friend Phil struggling to complete his math homework. Steve goes over to help Phil, and as a result, Phil better understands the mathematic principles that the lesson was trying to teach, and receives high marks on his math quiz. Does Steve deserve to be nominated for MVP Student of the Month? If you already answered yes, then you are correct. Steve is a real hero and used his good math knowledge to assist others. Hypothetical 2. Your friend Johnson is walking up the stairs and calls your principal, Miss Kay Harwood, a dweeb on accident. Does Johnson deserve to be MVP Student of the Month? The answer is of course no. Johnson made a mistake and is very sorry for what he did. It was on accident, he swears. He thought she was a fellow student and called her a dweeb as a goof on accident. Final hypothetical. Sandra is telling a joke, and a different girl, who also happens to be named Sandra, laughs at the first Sandra's hilarious and witty joke. Does either Sandra deserve to be nominated for MHS MVP Student of the Month? The answer is maybe, but probably not. While Sandra and Sandra both seem like stand-up gals, the act of making your friends laugh and being social is not an inherently good reason to nominate someone for MVP, unless of course they are going out of their way to cheer up someone in need. That is all for this week's episode of Jacob's Kindness Corner. I hope that this short summary of MHS MVP Student of the Month nomination process has encouraged you to nominate a deserving peer and give them a chance to be recognized for their kind actions. Thank you for joining me on Jacob's Kindness Corner.